Good morning, everyone. My name is Sain Jotnu, and I will be your presenter for today. And our topic is the hospitality sector is experiencing a shortage of employee. So how would we attract and retain our employee? So before going too far, I would like to apologize that there will be so many noise in my environment in this video because it's in the noon and my house is pretty closer to the street. So there will be a lot of vehicle passing by. So thank you for your consideration. So let's move to the content. So here we have how fast is the hospitality industry is growing and the main causes of labor shortage, new strategy way of hiring, standard quality of a hospitality employee, future prediction, and lastly, of course, conclusion. So let's move to the first slide of our presentation. So how fast is the hospitality industry is growing? So as we can see, the number is totally different in 2 years. So we have a number of 4.39 trillion in 2022, but furthermore in 2023, the number increased up to 4.7 trillion, basically which is 7% increase within a year. So that's totally very many of amount of money. So why is this happening? So the first reason is increase in travel demand. So like following the past year after the pandemic COVID-19 in 2020, the hospitality has been on the positive trajectory. And according to the HGMR, like the long form is Hospitality Global Market Report in 2023, they survey and claim that 81% of the US citizens said that they are planning to travel more in 2024. So by looking at that, we can clearly assume that there will be more of traveling in the next year, 2024. So, and the next one is rising disposable income. So after the COVID-19, people like, during the COVID-19, people like staying at home and staying in their house, and some of them have saved enough money for the travel. And then after the lockdown, and they're able to go travel around the world. So yeah, they spend off their most of their saving in traveling to explore and then to relieve their stress because you have been stuck in your house. That's why it's like the rocketing increase in demand traveling. So let's move to the next slide. So as I mentioned earlier, because of the demand of the traveling is increasing, our supply, like especially our labor shortage, we are facing the labor shortage. So here is 4 reasons that I have written. So I will read all of them and then I will explain each them in the next slide. So the first one is decreases interest among the younger generation. So the next one is preference for the remote or the flexible job, negative perception of the industry working condition. So the last one, increases retire among the baby boomer. So let's go check the first reason. So here, fewer young people choose career in the hospitality. It's not only because they are no longer interested, but it's also coincidental. So like, as I mentioned earlier, at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, of the infrastructure and the hospitality industry, of them have to shut down due to lockdown. And most of the employee, all, mostly all, become jobless. So think that they have been staying at their house and they have no income. So they know pretty well that they can just not stay like this because they have family to feed and they have their own living costs like accommodation fee and other insurance fee. So that's why they have to make money. Sorry. That's why they have to make money and they prone to work and find sort of job which can earn from online, like especially like from a social platform such as YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So some of them even leave their actual, past job for this, and then this social platform networking become their primary job that they are earning money from. So of course, like the third one is avoidance of the traditional hour, as I mentioned earlier. the hospitality job is, I mean, this all are linking because most people see hospitality job as a low pay job and but also require a long working hour. So basically, for me, in my opinion, I don't want to work all day and with earning a little bit of money, which is barely enough for myself. So the fourth one is perception of low status. Yeah, especially in my country, for example, like if you're working as a waiter and giving the service to other people, people around my environment, like they see those kind of people as a lower status compared to them. Because even though when they need something and they have to call them, they don't even call like a actual, they calling a actual person, but like using a weird song that we call dog to in order to call them. So that's why it's basically particularly very low status and disrespecting feel like disrespecting. And that's why. And the last one is yeah, it's the most important one because as I mentioned earlier, nobody wants to work long hour without with a very less amount of salary. So let's move to another slide. So what else? The first one is baby boomer are retiring. So here what baby boomer is the people and the employee, I mean the old employee who experienced in the hospitality industry and mostly like before that, before COVID-19, they all most of them are holding and holding all of sort of job in hospitality industry. And but now um because of they live because of they are aging and it's time for them to retire, so they leave the job and is increase demand for the younger generation like us. And for that reason the newcomer need to carry most part, which lead them to require a lot of training and investing at the same time. So basically which mean at the both side, at the employee and the employer. So it's very, it's a lot of disadvantages for both. And lack of appreciation and poor condition, as I mentioned earlier, yeah, long hour and low pay and lack of appreciation. Yeah, of course, nobody give you respect because you're a waiter and nobody admire you. And the fourth one is unmotivated college. So this also a reason why we are facing a shortage of labor in hospitality industry. So basically, most students see college as a low pay job, but for some, they are passionate about the serving people and traveling around the world by performing as a hospitality student. But unfortunately, some college, I mean not all, but some college, their lessons are mainly focused on theory too much, and no, not they are not providing the meaningful internship or real world experience, which is very necessary for a hospitality student when they work into the reality, real actual work. So and also another one is industry reputation issue. It basically means um, because of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, people have reduced their trust in this kind of craft job, because we don't we we don't know when is another pandemic going to be, and we have to lock the lockdown in our town. So when it happening, so yeah, we have to do the same like we did before. We have to leave our job and then just stay at home. So they don't want to be like that. That's why most people and younger generation are choosing online payment job over a craft job. So let's move to another slide. So here, we have, even though like there are a lot of people who are no longer interested in the hospitality, but we still have hope and strategy way of hiring them. So the first one, I'll read all of them and I'll explain you each in the next slide. So the first one is hire fresher from hospitality school and train them. And the second one is headhunting from competitor hiring. And it's so mean, but it's how it should be done. And the last one, consider outsourcing some aspect from your business. So let's go to the first reason. So hire fresher from the hospitality school, as I mentioned, specialized training, hand-on experience, commitment to the industry. Of course, they are the best choice for us to choose when hiring a employee. So consider like as a hospitality manager, like considering partnering with the hospitality school. Not only you could offer internship that provide student with exposure and hand-on training, but also you can exchange for work experience and valuable contact. So I mean they are attending at the hospitality industry school because they are passionate about it. So yeah, they will perform as the best they can. So we are just going to hire them, and yes, we may need to teach them, but it's not like fully a new person because they have experience from the lesson, and some of the school might have even the internship. So basically they have experience and they know their job, what to do. And of course, they have the skill set that we need in our hospitality industry. So the next one is headhunting from the competitor hiring. So basically, as I mentioned earlier, it's like a little bit mean, but it will bring us a lot of advantages. So when basically I want to say that when something you are doing doesn't work for you, is clear mean that you are not doing it right. So the same logic apply in hiring. So when you are unable to fill an vacancy in your hotel, you need to look at your competitor, what your competitor are doing at the same time, and all then just check, and then all you need to do is fill in the gap that you are missing out. So like for example, but in order to do that, um, in order to attract the employee from other company, but you need to provide the quality that better than them, and you need to be one step ahead. Like for example, if you want to attract the experienced employee to work in your industry, so first of all, you need to know what they need. So in my country, most of people in my country are going to abroad to work in the industry, especially in Dubai, in hotel, because they pay a lot of money. But especially people who work in the hospitality industry, the third world from the third world country. So which means like if we know what they need, we can attract them to work in our industry. And like for example, in my idea, like because of some people have to leave their home to work in another abroad country. So yeah, they might first of all, they might need accommodation, and second, they might need uh their money for food. So if we provide like accommodation or a room can that a lot of people can stay in the same place, and then if we provide free meal like for a day or twice a day, it would be better and it would be attracting employer to work in your industry, of course. And the next one, and outsourcing some aspect of business. So it's an effective way to reduce costs, focus on core competency, improve competitiveness. So here, let me explain you more. It's like outsourcing a great way to overcome your staff shortage. And all you need to do is hire from the other company expertise that are specialized at something like cleaning or the area that you don't mainly focus on and that you are not best at. So this could be like outsourced design, like marketing or accounting, And you can also look into partnering with the other business company and make the contract with them and by doing so, both of you get advantages and both of you get profit. So, and furthermore, like I want to give you an example. Instead of hiring an employee for each of role in your company, like cleaning and making a bed. So instead of doing this, you just hire from a third-party company to perform service and create good. They will even perform better than us, and because that is what they do, and that's what they are specialized at. And by doing so, we will reduce our costs, and reduce our costs like labor costs and less space and equipment because we don't need to buy more equipment to do a single work because they have everything they need. And also, let's move to another slide. So I mentioned a lot of things of hiring an employee, how to attract them. But anyway, what's important is we cannot hire anyone we see on the street. Basically, I mean, quantity doesn't always mean quality. So we need some quality of standard employee for us. So as we see, the first one, attention to the detail, interpersonal skill, communication skill, good attitude, and guest adequate. So I will explain them in each slide. So let's go to the, oh no, let's go to the attention to detail. So here, like employee should anticipate guest need before they vocalize and ensuring the seamless experience. Like for instance, noticing what when a guest water glass is empty and you go fill with them without they asking for it. And remembering their preference for the future and visit demonstrate exceptional attractiveness. Like by doing so, you can attract them to visit and stay at your hotel on their next vacation. Like, and another example is ensuring room empty are stocked and bed are properly made and a special requests are meticulously fulfilled. So by doing so, yeah, you attract them somehow. And the next one is interpersonal skill. This is, for me, this is pretty important. Like, um, so I might explain interpersonal skill first. So being approachable, empathetic, and personal allows employee to connect with guests and colleagues, fostering a positive work and guest environment. Like for example, greeting guests warmly upon arrival and maintaining friendly communication through their stay. And another one is linking with the personal skill, communication skill, which is personally the most important for, I mean, not personal, sorry, the most important for our hospitality industry. So we need to be clear, professional verbal and non-verbal communication. And we need to ensure instruction and feedback and the guest inquiry are managed effectively. So basically, which mean in my perspective, just assume as I'm a guest. So when I'm talking to you and the employee is raising their tone back to me. So basically, I sometimes I may not show, but in deeply I don't like it. And probably next time if I choosing hotel to stay for my next vacation, I probably not choose the same hotel because of their lack of communication skill. And the next one is good attitude. Of course, is what all sort of employees should have. Good attitude. Nobody want a bad attitude employee. So that's why they all are linking. And as I mentioned earlier, the student from the hiring, if you hire the student from the hospitality school, like basically they are trained for all of this attention to skill, interpersonal skill, communication skill, good attitude, and guest adequate. Yeah, of course, they have been learning them so much in their lesson. So particularly, and they will know what their job and they will improve of this skill from their school. So by doing so, what is our prediction resource? So here I have prediction resource in my idea. So the first one will improve, we'll see improvement in our workforce quality. So by implementing effective training and skill uh, development program, employee can achieve higher productivity and deliver exceptional service. This build a strong reputation for our hospitality organization. And the second one is enhance the customer service. So sustainable practice such as a personalized service and eco-friendly initiative foster a positive customer perception. And they may lead to the higher satisfaction and loyalty to the customer, basically, which means they will choose us next time, probably. And cost saving, this is pretty much important when we are doing a business, like absorbing by making a contract with the other company that they are specialized as I mentioned earlier, with a third party company, you will save your cost and other expenses. You don't need to train your new employee detail. And that's pretty much good, better because you also solve the labor shortage problem. And last but not least, this is what the most important when you're doing the business, the long-term growth. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we need have some strategic planning and investment in the sustainable position business for consistent growth and attracting conscious customer and fostering brand loyalty. So by doing so, next time they will probably choose us, and our long we can ensure that we can ensure and release about our long-term growth. And yeah, we by doing so we may see some mm, some positive strategy in the next small year, even though the demanding of the traveling is increasing. But we don't have to worry about the supply of our hospitality industry, especially in employee, because we have some strategy way to hiring it. So lastly, in conclusion, I mentioned about the mm, I mentioned about the reason for the shortage of the labor is basically in terms of that people are not no longer interested in the hospitality management. And so we have some strategy way like hiring a student from the hospitality school. And then we have some prediction results by doing so. So yeah, that's all about my presentation. Thank you for listening.